There's a paradox hiding in plain sight that most people never notice. The harder you chase something, the further it runs from you. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. The more desperately you want it, the more elusive it becomes. And yet, the moment you truly let go, the moment you stop chasing, stop gripping, stop desperately wanting, everything you've been searching for starts flowing toward you, like water finding its natural course. You've felt this before, haven't you? That frustrating experience where you've been pushing and striving and fighting for something with every fiber of your being, only to watch it remain just out of reach. Then one day, exhausted from the struggle, you surrender. You throw up your hands and say, forget it. And that's exactly when it shows up. The job offer comes through. The relationship materializes. The opportunity presents itself. The breakthrough happens. Most people dismiss this as coincidence, as random timing, as luck. But it's not random at all. There's a precise mechanism at work here, a universal principle that governs how desires manifest in your reality. And once you understand this principle, once you learn to work with it instead of against it, you'll discover that getting what you want isn't about trying harder. It's about trying less. It's about learning the art of strategic surrender. Right now, as you're listening to these words, you're probably holding on to something too tightly. Maybe it's a goal you've been chasing for months or years. Maybe it's a person you're trying to convince to love you back. Maybe it's a vision of who you think you need to become. Maybe it's control over a situation that feels like it's spinning away from you. Whatever it is, I can almost guarantee that your grip on it is the very thing preventing it from becoming yours. This isn't some mystical concept or wishful thinking. This is about understanding the energetic frequency of desperation versus the frequency of certainty. When you're desperately chasing something, you're broadcasting the signal that you don't have it, that you lack it, that you're incomplete without it. And the universe, with its perfect mirror-like precision, reflects that exact energy back to you. More lack, more absence, more reasons to keep chasing. But when you let go, when you release that death grip, something extraordinary happens. You shift from the frequency of lack to the frequency of trust. You move from the energy of desperation to the energy of knowing. You stop broadcasting "I don't have this" and start emanating "I am complete whether this comes or not." And that shift, that subtle but profound energetic change, transforms everything. Here's what most people get wrong about letting go. They think it means giving up, becoming passive, stopping all action toward their goals. They think letting go means you don't care anymore, that you've lost your drive, that you've accepted defeat. But that's not letting go at all. That's giving up. And giving up carries its own desperate energy, the energy of bitter resignation, of feeling powerless, of believing you're not worthy of what you want. True letting go is something entirely different. It's the recognition that you are already whole, already complete, already worthy, regardless of whether you get what you think you want. It's the understanding that your happiness, your peace, your sense of self, it's the realization that your worth doesn't depend on any external outcome, or not chasing these things because you need them to be okay, but because you want to experience them from a place of joy, curiosity, and expansion. When you truly let go, you don't stop taking action. You take better action. You stop acting from fear and start acting from inspiration. You stop forcing and start flowing. You stop trying to control every detail of how your desires will manifest and start trusting the process to unfold in ways that are even better than what you could have planned. Think about the last time you were in a conversation where you were trying too hard to impress someone. You could feel the desperation in your voice, the neediness in your energy. The harder you tried, the more awkward it became. The more you pushed, the more they pulled away. But then, think about a time when you were completely comfortable in your own skin, when you weren't trying to prove anything or get anything from the other person. That's when the magic happened. That's when genuine connection flowed effortlessly. This same principle applies to every area of your life. In your career, the opportunities that come when you're not desperately job hunting are often the ones that transform everything. In relationships, the connections that develop when you're genuinely content being alone are the ones that actually last. In creativity, your best work happens when you stop trying to create something perfect and start creating from pure expression. The reason letting go works so powerfully isn't just energetic, it's practical. When you're gripping too tightly to one specific outcome, you become blind to all the other possibilities surrounding you. You develop tunnel vision that filters out opportunities, connections, and paths that might be even better than what you originally wanted. Your desperation creates a rigid focus that actually limits your options. But when you let go of the specific how and when, while maintaining clarity about the what and why, you open yourself to infinite possibilities. You become available to solutions you never considered, to timing that's more perfect than what you planned, to outcomes that exceed your original vision. You move from trying to force one door open to noticing that there are dozens of doors around you, many of them already unlocked. The people who seem to effortlessly attract success, love, and opportunities aren't different from you in any fundamental way. They've simply learned this art of holding their desires lightly. They want what they want. They work toward what they want, but they don't need what they want in order to be okay. And that subtle but crucial difference changes everything about how the world responds to them. What you're about to discover in the rest of this video will challenge everything you've been taught about achievement, about getting what you want, about how success actually works. Because the truth is, everything you want is already trying to come to you. Your job isn't to chase it down. Your job is to get out of its way. There's something happening in your body right now as you hear these words. A subtle relaxation in your shoulders, a softening in your jaw, maybe a deeper breath than you've taken in hours. That's not coincidence. That's your nervous system recognizing truth when it hears it. Your body already knows what your mind is still learning to accept. The constant tension of trying to control everything is exhausting you at a cellular level. Most people live in a state of chronic resistance without even realizing it. They wake up each morning and immediately start wrestling with reality, fighting traffic that moves too slowly, arguing with circumstances that don't match their preferences, pushing against people who won't behave the way they want them to, forcing conversations that feel stilted, manipulating situations that keep slipping out of their grasp. And then they wonder why they feel drained, why their results feel forced, why success feels like such a struggle. But here's what changes everything. The moment you stop resisting what is and start working with what is, you tap into a source of power you never knew you had. It's like the difference between swimming upstream against a powerful current and learning to navigate downstream with the flow. Same river, same destination, but one approach leaves you exhausted while the other carries you forward with grace. You can feel this principle working in the smallest moments of your day. Notice what happens when you're running late and you start fighting the traffic, cursing at red lights, getting frustrated with every delay. The tension builds, your stress increases, and somehow you seem to hit every possible obstacle. But think about those rare moments when you're running late and you just accept it. You breathe deeply, you put on music you love, you decide that whatever happens, happens. Suddenly, the lights seem to turn green just as you approach them. Parking spaces open up exactly where you need them. The very thing you were fighting against starts working in your favor. This isn't magic, though it might feel like it. This is you aligning with the natural flow of events instead of creating friction against it. When you're in resistance mode, you're broadcasting tension, urgency, and fear. When you're in acceptance mode, you're broadcasting calm, trust, and openness, and the world around you responds accordingly. The same principle that works with traffic lights works with your biggest dreams and deepest desires. When you approach them from a place of desperate need, you create resistance. When you approach them from a place of confident knowing, you create alignment. The difference isn't in what you want or how much you want it. The difference is in how you hold the wanting. Think about someone you know who seems to effortlessly attract good things into their life. They're not necessarily or more lucky than anyone more talented, more connect else. But there's something different being attached to specific outcomes. They workingly excited about possibilities without this quality of being genuine about their energy. They have toward their goals with enthusiasm but without desperation. They care deeply about their dreams while remaining surprisingly relaxed about whether they happen exactly as planned. That quality you're sensing in them isn't something they were born with. It's something they learned, and it's something you can learn too. It starts with understanding that there's anything you want in life. There are actually two completely different ways to pursue people only know about, And there's the path of flow. The path of force is what the first one. The path we're taught from childhood. Work harder, try harder, push harder. If something isn't working, you're not putting in enough. You need to effort. If you're not getting results, do more. If people aren't responding the way you want, you need to convince them harder. This approach occasionally produces results, but relationships feel strained. The achievements always come at a cost. The feel hollow. The success feels fragile. The path of flow operates on entirely different principles. Instead of trying to force outcomes, you focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts what you want. Instead of to control every variable, you learn to serve purpose that opportunities start chasing you. Instead of trying opportunities, you become so aligned with the waves of uncertainty with skill and grace. Here's where most things to happen. But that's not flow being passive, just sitting around waiting for goo. People get confused about the path of flow. They think it means flow requires tremendous clarity about what you want and at all. That's stagnation. True, consistent action toward your goals. The difference is in the quality of that action. Flow-based action feels inspired, ratherizing rather than draining, then forced. It feels energy. It feels like expansion rather than contraction. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take a deep breath and think about that one thing you've been gripping too tightly. Feel the tension you've been carrying around it. Now imagine opening your hands and releasing that grip completely. Not giving up on it, but trusting that if it's meant for you, it will find its way to you when the timing is perfect. Everything you want is already on its way to you. Your only job is to get out of its way and to let it arrive.